And a happy Monday to everyone. Welcome to the Plug Talk Sports live show, episode 102. You guys know me, Danny Torres. We got Brandon and we got Janka. Welcome back, the usual crew. How's everyone doing?
Doing okay, man. I got kind of a controversial conversation at Sand Club. Someone called me a 30-year-old. With the beard. And again, I understand the beard, but like being called 30 is a little different, man. I don't know. I'm a long way from that, I think. But
hey, man, seems like you're getting up there.
Apparently. But yeah, I got 8 more years till that. So, but feeling kind of weird, man. Feeling kind of weird about it.
Trust me, man. I just turned 25 like 2 weeks ago, and just. It's a weird feeling.
It is a weird feeling. It was, and again, I love the beard though, but man, getting called 30, man, it's a different feeling now. I had to go full shave. I don't know, man.
The best part is that you meet people younger than you, and you're like, "Oh, you're old." It's like 25. What are you talking about?
It's not too old.
Let's get into it. Let's do good news this time. So Brandon, we'll start with you. Aside from being called 30.
So good news is that I finally hold on. I'll be right back because the good news is I went down to Miami to move things back and forth, but they opened up this shoe gallery in downtown or north downtown, and I've been needing good shoes, so I ended up getting these.
Oh, those are nice.
For $120. So I got it for the retail price, which was really good because these, you know how shoes are nowadays, so. Got pretty lucky for that, so that was probably my best news. I finally got new shoes after like maybe a year and a half. So it's been a while.
Pretty good. That's a solid price.
Yeah, I couldn't really miss out on an opportunity, you know.
For retail.
Janka?
For me? That's tough. Not much. I don't really know. I've had a pretty good week, to be honest.
Something good, man.
Something good. I guess we'll get into it obviously later in the show, but it would have to be the game-winning free kick from Messi in the debut. Okay. I was at Miller's Ale House with my brother and some friends, and we were watching, and then the game was tied, and there goes Messi, hits the game-winning free kick from outside the box, and I start going crazy. I throw my napkins everywhere.
Well, for me, it would have to be 2 things. That's you brought up shoes, Brandon. I treated myself on my birthday to a nice pair of shoes.
Nice, dude. Nice Jordans.
Yeah, the low tops. It took a little bit to break in. And then finally, the child here has arrived. The national championship ring is here.
Oh, okay.
Here we are.
Looks nice, man.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I wore it for like an hour the day I got it, and it started weighing down the hand, and it started hurting a bit. And I was like, "Yeah, this is probably not meant to wear for more than an hour." So it goes back in its little case, and we carry on. But it was a good thing for me. Let's do bad, Brandon. Anything bad?
Yeah. So as everyone knows, there was the historic event of Barbenheimer over the weekend, and I watched both movies. Of course, one day after another for like a reassess it, go to Letterboxd. I'm now a Letterboxd user, So that's kind of weird now. But I brought my friend to see, Barbie, right?
Mm-hmm.
They thought it was a good movie, but they hated it. Like it was a funny movie, but I thought it was a good movie, right? It had its own moments. Kind of weird, not what I expected from a Barbie movie,
Yeah.
but he hated it. You know what I mean?
That's what a lot of people were saying. It's not what they expected.
No, yeah, it was again, no spoilers or anything like that. Definitely explain to your kid, what they might see before going to that movie. Won't say what it is, not to spoil anything, but definitely a movie that I thought really good, had its own moments, detail amazing. But a lot of people, including my friend, which I brought them to like a 10 o'clock showing, I'm like, man, I feel like I kind of wasted his time, and he'd rather watch Indiana Jones. I don't blame him though. I still have to watch the Indiana Jones film. I want to watch that, but yeah, I mean that's kind of a bad thing from this week. Of course, love the fact that I saw the movie. Just wish my friend was joining with me.
Janka?
Did you? I think you said. Did you get to see Oppenheimer?
I did, yeah, I did.
What's your opinion? Because I don't know. I feel like I give it like maybe an 8 out of 10. I think it was good, but I think from the start of the movie to like by the time the bomb goes off, it was just kind of like too much information and too much like talking. So it was kind of like it got a little boring around the middle. So
yeah. Yeah, I mean the dialogue, and again, it is a history movie about a scientist.
Thank you.
I would say,
you understand.
But he knows. He's all.
Yeah, but what it would say though, that movie, like, it's more about the actions from the actors instead of the dialogue of what they're saying. Like, for example, Emily Blunt, like, she had like minimal parts in this film, and all of them I felt like were just mid. You know what I mean? Like poorly executed sometimes.
Until the end.
Till the end. Well, yeah, till the end. She had that one scene. Again, not ruining anything, but she had that one scene. But honestly, I liked it though. You know what I mean? I put it like 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was kind of weird the cast they brought in, where it was like, Robert Downey Jr. incredible. The Truman scene, the funniest, best scene of the movie was President Truman. That like what 2 minutes. But I wanted more Josh Peck, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like Drake and Josh were there, but no Drake. So I just wanted more out of that. But I thought it was a good film.
It's pretty good. I give it. You give it a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
Yeah, I gave it 8 out of 10. So we're the same.
Yeah.
Wait, what was something bad, Janka?
Something bad? Oh, I think it just. I think you said it to me today.
Yeah, the Bills.
Yeah. What's the Bills or the Miami-Dade police officer?
Oh, I sent you both.
Well, yeah, for both. Yeah, Naheem Hines and Alfredo Ramirez. They're both threatening injuries. Shout out to. Hopefully, they both get better. But it sucks for Hines. He's going to be out for the season for the Buffalo Bills. That's another hit to their team. So they're down. I think he's a receiver. I think correct.
No, I think he's on defense.
Is he on defense?
Yeah.
Well, either way, it's a big hit. So, and then for Ramirez, hopefully he gets better. We always need police officers on the streets. So,
for me, it's gonna have to be what happened last night in the Real Madrid and AC Milan game. ESPN commentator Shaka. This is pregame. They're talking about the game, and I think they had gotten to a segment where they were talking about Kylian Mbappe and what his situation, and all of a sudden, Shaka just collapsed on live air.
Weirdest thing ever. I've never seen it.
Yeah, live air just collapse. My thing is like, first of all, like I hope he's recovering, and they said he is okay, and he sent out a good video today thanking everyone and for the help at the Rose Bowl and the medical staff, but. Man, they took a long time to cut from air. Like,
yeah,
he collapsed. Like the moment you see him collapse, like you should just immediately cut.
Yeah,
like he collapsed, and they showed like the security coming in, like the medical team coming in, and like his colleague trying to help him. And I'm like, yo, you gotta cut already. Like cut, like take it out.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was pretty bad to see. They haven't said what was the diagnosis, but it just like he kind of swayed a little bit. You saw him sway a little bit, and then he just went straight down. So I don't know what's going on, but hopefully he is okay. And wherever he goes, he gets checked out by doctors that he doesn't have anything life threatening. But let's get into it, guys. I wish I could say that. And after our show tonight, I am going to watch a game, but I wish I could have been watching more of these Women's World Cup games. But damn, like 3:30 a.m., 4 a.m., like 6 a.m., like it's tough. Like luckily, all U.S. games, like, I think except for the last one, their last group game I think is at 3:30 a.m.
What?
Yeah. But the next one is at 9 p.m., which is on Wednesday. But I wish I could be watching more of the tournament, but it's just the time difference is just insane between here and Australia and New Zealand. But opening game for USA, they take on Vietnam. They win 3-0. The score line says 3-0, but if you guys watch the match or watch the highlights of the match, it wasn't – I would say it was okay. Like, it was good. It was just okay. Like, this is a Vietnam team that's only their second year of having a team. You guys remember the last World Cup where they played Thailand and it was 13-0 against Thailand. I mean, I think that's what people were expecting. But this USA team has veterans, obviously, like Megan Rapinoe and Alex Morgan, who missed a penalty, by the way. They are older, and then it's a lot of young girls, that just started their careers that are on this team. And obviously, the coach is different for USA this time around. There's no Jill Ellis, who won the last two, World Cups with them. It is a different coach. What makes me feel better about this, even though they did win 3-0, is that the competition that, people go into this tournament fearing for USA, who might give them a battle. England, only a 1-0 win over Haiti. That is astonishing. France, a 0-0 draw to Jamaica. That was unbelievable. I think the only team right now that has impressed me, I mean, Canada also didn't impress me at all. Spain had a 3-0 win over Costa Rica. And I think Germany won big today. And, of course, Brazil won as well. So I'd say Germany, Brazil, and Spain right now are on my radar. Obviously, there's going to be teams like Sweden, Switzerland who picked up wins, but I don't think that they can challenge the U.S. But overall, it was a okay performance. And I think on Wednesday against the Netherlands should be interesting.
No, yeah, of course. And also, I mean, from the U.S. and the Netherlands, I mean, they have history, too, being in a World Cup final before, of course, with the U.S. winning them out. But I thought it was kind of interesting, though, because, while this USA game for the women's national team is happening, Messi is also happening. So you have, like, TVs going back and forth all the time. So, of course, from, whenever there is a game that you're going to be able to watch during the daytime and not in, like, the late nights or the early mornings, there's something else going on in the MLS or whatever. But definitely was a game to watch. I think one of the biggest allies about this was Sophia Smith, who, of course, was all over Nike advertisement for good reason, had 2 goals in that game. And also Trinity Rodman, though.
Oh, love her.
Dude, I love the effort because I think she got down in the first 20 minutes or so of that match. And it's like the fight to get back on there. And there is a little bit of fight from this U.S. team. And, of course, a little bit of a shock. And as crazy as it sounds, because, of course, we talked about the game itself, 3-0 as a result, but it felt like it could have been better and it should have been better, especially against a Vietnam squad, as you said, Danny, that's really 2 years old, an infant in international soccer. But I think for the U.S. itself, I mean, I honestly don't think there's going to be another team that matches them. I've been looking around. I mean, the New Zealand, first time hosting it, first time getting a win. And then you have all these other squads where you're expecting France to be huge. Brazil expects them to be huge. Do I see a lot coming out of them? Spain, do I see a lot coming out of them? I don't really think so. I think there's going to be really a lot of close, tight matchups, and I think the U.S. is going to only team that has a little bit of leeway, and probably I honestly doubt they'll have a match where it's like a 1-goal decision. I feel like it's going to be a lot of blowouts.
Jonka?
I was watching this game at Miller's. It was, obviously the Messi game and some other sports. They kept flipping the channel, but whatever I could see, every time I have a problem with this player. She's been making headlines, but I'm gonna call her out. Megan Rapinoe. She played like if she was an amateur, whiffing kicks, not passing the ball, not looking up, not going for runs, not doing anything. She was basically costing USA multiple possessions, multiple goals. Not like she didn't even want to be on the team. She just wants to be there just so that they give her credit that she's playing. That's how she was playing, and I'm like, I was losing my patience. If you're not gonna go there to actually try your best, give it to the next person up. There are other women on this team that haven't had a chance to play, that will play all out, and maybe that could be your next star. Like, yes, we get it. Megan Rapinoe, yes, she's given us so much, but if she continues to play like that, like the days ago, not giving a crap, I'd sit her down. She'll still get the World Cup if they win it, but I don't want to see that again. I really don't want to see it again. And I think my sleeper team, you guys talking about other teams, why are we not talking about Japan, bro? Japan's right now number one.
Oh, God. This is a sleeper team in the Men's World Cup, too, man.
Hey, I'm telling you, don't sleep on Japan. Japan is always giving USA a hard time.
I don't know, man. I feel a little blue lock bias right now, man.
I'm telling you, bro.
I know, but Japan and China are really good teams, though, especially for women's soccer. But also, Jonka, I thought it was kind of funny with the Rapinoe one. It sounds like a Cristiano Ronaldo situation right now. Have him bench, bring him out in the second half. Rapinoe can be bench.
Listen to me, man. You're talking about Megan Rapinoe and Cristiano Ronaldo in the same sentence. They don't belong in the same sentence.
Hey, they're both 90 overalls in FIFA.
Listen, Portugal in that Men's World Cup, if they had brought in Cristiano or started Cristiano in the game against Morocco, I think things could have been different because they thought that guy that did great against Switzerland was going to do it again in Morocco, but you can't compare, man. I think this USA team was fine with Megan Rapinoe coming off of the bench. I don't think Portugal, for the moment, even though they're getting rising stars and their team is pretty good, they still need the GOAT.
True.
But yeah, I think for USA right now, I'm just more excited. Like, I'm not saying I'm over all the stars that have given us so much. I'm just so excited for the young players that we have. Sophia Smith is just a beast. Yeah. A beast. And then we talk about Trinity Rodman. Absolutely love Trinity Rodman. One hell of a player. I'm just more excited for them and see how they do in this first World Cup. Don't even forget. I mean, she has one World Cup under her belt. But Rose Lavelle is phenomenal. So don't even get me started like on some of these girls on this team. Their skill is unbelievable. And the swag they had, my sister didn't like it. I liked it. The suits that they had on pre-game, I thought that was pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie.
I love it. Hey, I mean, it's how the U.S. should be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether that be for basketball, soccer, whether that be for football, anything here domestically, you have a little swagger, man. If it's not sports, then it's not entertaining. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be entertaining on that part.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. So we talk about Leagues Cup. This is the new tournament that has been created. This is the inaugural year. It's between MLS teams and Liga MX. So Inter Miami's game was against Cruz Azul. It was here in Fort Lauderdale, Drive Pink Stadium. It was Messi's debut as well as Sergio Busquets. And it ended 2-1 with Messi scoring a free kick to win the game. Now, here's my take, boys. I told you guys already. Messi's going to do Messi things. Here's another thing. This game you guys were nervous for a minute. I know you guys were nervous for a minute. The Inter Miami was tied 1-1 with one of the worst teams in Liga MX at the moment. And here's another thing. if you're at a set piece, right? And look, Messi's probably looking at this guy and thinking, this guy's a complete idiot. You have your wall in front of you, right? The keeper is completely on the opposite side of the goal. Like, duh, I'm going to shoot it right there. It's completely wide open.
Exactly.
So for me, this became a debate the day after the game. Who had a better MLS debut, Messi or Zlatan? If you guys don't remember, Zlatan against LAFC was also a game winner, volleyed it from midfield and scored it. I will have to say Zlatan, Messi was skill. I'll give it to him, but just because of the whole goalie thing being an idiot, and then it's very hard to score a volley, and especially from midfield. That's extremely hard. I would have to say Zlatan. But, like, again, it's Messi's skill, but that goalie, like, come on, man. Like, have you not been watching Messi his entire career? Like, why the heck would you stand there? It made no sense to me. But they pick up the 3 points. Sergio Busquets as well had a nice debut. He gets some good passes in there. And they'll be taking on Atlanta United tomorrow because there's only 3 teams in each group. So tomorrow will be their last group game. So as of right now, it's looking like it's probably, like, I'd say 95% that they're moving on to the next round of the Leagues Cup. But yes, Atlanta United tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, also before I even go any further, I will agree as well as Zlatan's start in the MLS. There's nothing you can compare to that. I mean, like, the Galaxy were down 3-0. No, my apologies, 3-0. And they end up doing that comeback. It's ridiculous. But, yeah, I mean, for Messi's point, I think that when he was on the field, of course, he came on when they were tied 1-1 and for Inter Miami. I mean, we have always seen them throughout the season. The corner defensively, they're just weak at it. MLS competition or not, they're just terrible at protecting the goal from corners. But when Messi gets on the field as well, Busquets and as Jose Martinez also makes his way, I mean, it's more aggressive with Messi controlling the ball, doing his own magic. I mean, he goes through like 3 players. He is able to maneuver below guys. It's something that it creates chances, but it's nothing like Busquets. Now, I understand a lot of the hype is around Messi for good reason, but Busquets, he's a wizard, man. There's no other way you can put it. Left foot, the ball's in the perfect spot. Right foot, the ball's in the perfect spot. With a little bit of an offside, there was 2 offside calls I thought were kind of 50-50. But if you ask me, Busquets, I think from just looking at the little bit of minutes, and of course Messi, the whole story is that, additional time, last-minute goal to really save Inter Miami from going a bit of penalties or extra time or anything like that. But Busquets, he might have been, and again, kind of controversial, but the biggest part of the recent signings, the way he opens up the field, there's no playmakers on Inter Miami before these signings. Leo Messi, huge playmaker. The way Busquets sets up Lionel. Yeah. I mean, without Busquets, Messi might not be able to go anywhere besides with himself on the ball. Busquets really opens up the field for Messi, other players as well. Defensively, the team is still really poor, and I'm pretty sure there'll be additional signings that could probably help that later on. But Busquets, he's like I don't even know what the IQ is, but he's got to be the smartest guy in the MLS soccer-wise right now. And he only played 1 game. So that's my kind of takeaways. And magical moment for Messi, Beckham crying in the stands, LeBron James dabbing him up. You can't really ask for anything better.
Got Kim Kardashian, too.
Yeah, Kim brought her sons, man. So, yeah. I mean, honestly, I didn't expect Ye's kids to be soccer fans the way that is. Apparently, they take trips across Europe to see players. So they're living the best of the soccer life. But, yeah, I mean, definitely Messi got everyone outside. And I think Tuesday will be the biggest matchup for not only Messi but also Inter Miami because they need to face MLS teams to really prove themselves.
I think with Atlanta, it'll be a more tougher matchup than Cruz Azul. And especially, it'll be interesting. Messi will be going up against a MLS All-Star, should I say, and his teammate, only MLS player, I believe, to have won the World Cup is Thiago Almada for Atlanta. It'll be quite a fun game to see.
Yeah, I mean, especially with him captaining, like, I hope he starts, though. I mean, that's the only thing I have with Tata and everything like that, because I understand he comes back from vacation, but he's got to start Tuesday at least.
from what I saw this past, I think it was Friday. I think from that game on Friday, we saw how the offense could look like, with better pieces around if they get them. So there's rumors with Suarez, Hazard, go on and so forth. Yeah, but that's in the future. Let that when it happens, it happens. But the one thing that I think Messi saw and all the fans saw was that I think Cruz Azul was attacking too much. They're getting way too many chances inside and outside the box, and there's like, okay, the defense needs to improve dramatically because for Cruz Azul to be getting inside the box too easily, that's you can't. No, I'm sorry.
Which I think what will become an issue is that, yes, your offense, when you have your attacking players, like you have Busquets in the midfield, you have Messi up top, and Joseph Martinez, they can score goals. But if your defense is not doing anything back there, and once you run in as a Brandis and some MLS teams that are good, they're going to start punishing you. And it's going to be, okay, Messi scores a goal, other team's going to score a goal. And it's going to be kind of back and forth until, like, something's going to give. Either these guys are going to keep scoring goals, or Messi's going to continue scoring goals, going to end up with a draw, or Inter Miami's going to lose. So definitely the defense is what they need to fix next.
If I know there's also rumors with Sergio Ramos they're trying to get Sergio Ramos.
That was already denied by Sergio Ramos.
Denied? Okay, fine.
Hey, re-deny it. Re-deny it. I need that Ramos jersey.
Bring it up.
Bring it back around. Bring it back around. I'm going to need the Ramos jersey.
All right, you know what, Beckham? I'm taking a pay cut. Give him what he wants.
Yeah, take my paychecks. Don't worry about it. I'll figure it out.
I don't know where they're getting this money from, but they're going to have to start a GoFundMe.
But as an overall, yeah, they're going to have to improve the defense for sure. And hopefully that, the chemistry starts getting better with Messi, Busquets, and everybody else starts meshing in. But for this game tomorrow, it's going to be a test. I think Messi should start. I think Messi needs to see how he feels with an MLS team. Like, all right, this is how it feels. This is how they run it. This is how the atmosphere feels like.
Yep.
It's like, he's already been in the biggest stage in the World Cup final multiple times. So I don't think that's gonna scare him anything. But I just hope that the other players on Inter Miami are ready for the challenge and they're ready to perform for Messi, because I think everybody knows if you're not playing your best and Messi sees you not trying your best, you're off. Yep. Especially with this coming season, like they already know they're not gonna make the MLS tournament, so the playoffs. So they're just gonna be like, okay, you know what? I see you, playing, being half-ass on the field. All right, you're out. All right, you're not trying hard enough. You're out. We'll find somebody better than you. I'll bring a rookie from Argentina. I'll get somebody from Spain that will play way harder, and they're more talented than you, and we'll fix this team up. So you better show what you have. And now with Atlanta coming up, they're a good team. So we'll see.
No, exactly. And I think one of the biggest things that he said there, because I remember from Tata and his entire substitution ordeal.
Yep.
Did any of the defensemen, the defense guys get moved until like the 70th, 60th minute? You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, you got guys out there getting gassed against Cruz Azul. And I'm thinking to myself, of course, bring in better guys for next season. But, man, if I'm Tata, I want to make some substitutions to see what I have right now. You know what I mean? You got a couple of academy kids on the first team. And with Messi out there, I mean, are they going to get any touches? Defensively, how do these academy kids, if there is going to be some cornerbacks, how can they progress with him and maybe with, the rest of the season if Inter Miami doesn't win enough games mathematically to make the playoffs? But definitely, though, everyone on that defensive side, replaceable. Definitely replaceable.
And I feel bad for Ian Frey, who picked up now. This is his third year in the league. Yep. Third ACL tear.
That's what I was going to also say. That's right there. That's Ian Frey. Shout out. When I saw him go down, I instantly knew it was a torn ACL. Because that looked just like what happened to Derrick Rose. It's exactly the way it happened. He stepped, and the knee went, yeet, and then
third ACL tear in 3 years. Like, you got to be extremely frustrated, for that kid. And if you are Ian Frey, because come on, each year you've had an ACL tear that's incredible. That's just horrible luck.
It is. And the worst part about it, like, especially with Inter Miami with Robbie Robinson and now Frey, it's like all the young guys, like Frey's only 20 years old. Like, we have these great young guys that can never stay on the field.
Hey, so this is what Inter Miami's injuries are looking like right now. I mean, Robbie Robinson's been in and out of the lineup with injuries, and he has been since he started in the MLS. Ian Frey, Coco Jean, Franco Negri, Gregory, and Jean Mota. All those guys got injuries. So it's unfortunate, but they're dealing with the academy kids have stepped up. So let's talk about I don't know what the heck has happened here, but the start of the second half of the Major League Baseball season has not gone so well for the Marlins. They come back, they play the Baltimore Orioles, they get swept, which, by the way, the Baltimore Orioles are now in first place of the AL East.
Yeah.
Then they go on to play the St. Louis Cardinals, get swept by the Cardinals. Then they go on to play this past weekend, Colorado Rockies. They lose 2, but Luis Arias was able to get a walk-off in the 10th yesterday to break the streak. It was 8 straight losses for the Marlins, and I think a lot of Marlins fans are saying they need something at the trade deadline to make this team a little bit better, get them past the line, because of that 8-game losing streak, the Marlins have fallen to 3rd in the NL East and have fallen out of the National League wild card picture. So I don't know what's going to happen here. There's still time, a handful of games to turn things around. But they definitely cannot start going in the trajectory that they are right now. And I think for me, what really bothered me, and we talked about this before, is how they dropped Yuri Perez and brought back in Johnny Cueto. Ever since that change right there, the Marlins have been struggling.
Yeah, and also I just think it's like a sense of comfort, right? I mean, going into the All-Star break, they're one of the best teams right now in the MLB. And then you call into – I mean, those are hard series, especially majority of them on the road. There's no way that Miami can get on stride, especially on those type of losing streaks where you're losing 2 straight series and then you're back at home and you're going against the Rockies, and the Rockies always have our number for some reason. But I think the crazy thing about it, because it's not only them, but I think it's just the state of Florida. The Tampa Bay Rays have lost the last 2 series themselves, and they've been on this collision course now with the Marlins, where now it's going to be a 2-game series that's going to be in Tampa. And honestly, I think this might be the most important turning point of the season for Miami. Do they get back on that horse? Do they get back to a winning way? And, of course, I don't think that the division itself, like, you're not going to beat the Braves. Let's be honest. I don't think there's going to be a single team that beats the Braves. But definitely for Miami, the wild card option, it has to be there. And those 2 games against Tampa, of course, starting tomorrow will be huge for them, though. But Miami, I mean, they definitely got to get out of the comfort zone and get back to grinding.
Jonka?
Yeah, I have to agree. Like, I kept getting a notification every single day. Marlins lose. Marlins lost. I'm like, damn, bro, really? Like, I think these teams aren't really that good. And so I'm just like, damn, they're really struggling. Then they got to 6 and then 7, and hopefully, thank God. Yesterday, Luis Arias came in clutch, but I'm gonna tell you something right now. Daniel said let me see. They are 4th right now in the wild card. They are half a game ahead of the Phillies, and then the Cubs and the San Diego Padres are like 5 games behind them. And if Miami continues to lose, those are teams that could easily get hot at any moment. And then if I were to read to you the Marlins' next couple games heading into August,
3 games right now, starting tomorrow with the Tampa Bay Rays.
I got here 2.
Yeah, it's 2.
I got two games at the Rays.
Yes.
And then they got 3 games with the Detroit Tigers. Those should be wins. Can we all agree on that, please?
Yeah,
I don't know about the Rays.
No, not the Rays. The Tigers.
Okay.
Yeah.
and then they go on to play the Phillies for a 4-game home series. Then they play the Rangers. Rangers are really good this year. I don't know where that came from. Then they play the Reds, who they're fighting with also. Then they play my Yankees. My Yankees, I don't really guess. Whatever, we suck. Then they got to play the Astros for 3 games. Then the Dodgers. Then the Padres, the Nationals, and the Rays again. Bro, the Marlins got to get something on this trade deadline before. Maybe a pitcher, a hitter, an extra 2 hitters. I will work something out because you need to get some runs in, man.
I think
photo? Or I don't know, something.
I think for me, another solid pitcher, and I would say one more hitter. That's what I would think. I mean, and it's hard because it's tough to get both out of a trade deadline. It's hard to think, man, like I think they're in need of both. It's just hard. Which one do you prefer? Like if you have to land one, which one do you go for?
I don't know, man. I just know that it's good to be in Major League Baseball because in this league, you can trade a lot of crappy players
for a good player.
For a good player. So get the big hitters, man. Get the guys that bench 250, 350. Like
if it were me, the one commodity that is not guaranteed is a pitcher, a good pitcher, by the way. So if you can get a good pitcher, that will help you more in the long run than I guess a hitter would at this point, because you need to offset that offense from the other team, and then you hope hopefully your offense is good enough where your defense is holding the opposition to low scoring or 0 in the game. So yes, obviously a pitcher and a hitter would be nice, but I think the Marlins are missing is that I know Jorge Soler is a kind of a slugger, but he's not hitting it like a slugger. Like he has double-digit home runs, but he's not that Ohtani, Judge, Mike Trout kind of person. But I think that's what the Marlins are missing, like a star home run hitter where like the pitching gets scared to come up. Like, damn, like this guy's in our lineup where they can just come up and like he can ding one for the team, raise morale. I was like, all right, we can do this. I don't think the Marlins have that guy. So I'm hoping maybe they should go for Soto.
Okay.
And keep your eye out for Ohtani too. The deadline is coming up.
I think the Marlins need, because I'm looking at the roster, they need one more big veteran presence because there's a lot of young guys right now. And also, we're missing the X Factor who has not played, Jazz Chisholm.
Yeah.
He's out right now, so that's a big factor right now. But look, this is Sandy's not having the best of years coming off of that Cy Young. This is what the rotation looks like right now. You got Sandy, Edward Cabrera, Johnny Cueto, Braxton Garrett, Jesus Luzardo, and Brian Hoeing. Which, look, for me, Sandy's good. Johnny Cueto's a shell of what he used to be. Braxton Garrett has put on some solid performances when he's been on the mound. Other than that, it's whatever.
It's not a pretty bullpen.
Yeah, so I think they need a better bullpen.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to see Yelich back on this team, to be absolutely honest with you. It says bring back Yelich in the Marlins colors. Maybe you get Stanton on the way. Who knows? Maybe the Yankees would like to do a couple of deals with Miami. But definitely it is, look around and see what's available. I think it's at that point of the season.
Now, sticking with the MLB, the trade deadline is 8 days away, and we'll keep our eyes glued to see if the Marlins do anything. But there's a big name out there, and he did good in the World Baseball Classic. His name is Shohei Ohtani. Will he be moving from the Los Angeles Angels, who had a good start to the season, but are now just looks like they're far away from any sort of playoff contention? And the top suitors right now for Ohtani, Jonka says the Marlins, but the Marlins are not mentioned anywhere as top contenders for Ohtani. Top contenders are the New York Mets, New York Yankees, San Diego Padres, LA Dodgers, and San Francisco Giants. Those are the top contenders for Shohei Ohtani. Listen, if Ohtani lands with any of the teams in the NL West, meaning the Padres, Dodgers, or Giants, those are pretty good teams. So NL West is a hard division. Dodgers are leading it right now in first, but it's been competitive this year because the Dodgers don't have the same strong team that they had in past years. But anyone who lands Ohtani in the NL West, it's going to be a good run in the playoffs for them towards the World Series. The question is, do you guys think Ohtani is moving? The Angels are going to want to keep him. And there's also rumors going around that if Ohtani's out, can Mike Trout be on his way out as well?
Could be. So we just completely wipe it, just restructure the whole thing. Listen, the reason I think the Angels are gonna trade Ohtani, because if they don't trade Ohtani, they're gonna wait for the offseason, and then he's a free agent, and then Ohtani can just go wherever he wants. Yeah, and then they get nothing for him. So it's either you trade him and get something, or get nothing. Because let's be honest, he's not gonna re-sign with the Angels. So if I'm the Angels, send him somewhere. If you don't like where he goes, I win him. But get something in return.
I don't understand what it is with these big players and wanting to be in the Los Angeles Angels, because let's go back a couple of years ago when Albert Pujols decides, and it was 2012, the New Look Marlins heading into their new stadium. They had Marcell Ozuna, Josh Johnson on the mound, Jose Reyes, Ozzie Guillen was the manager, Christian Yelich, Giancarlo Stanton. Pujols was very close to going to the Marlins, but he instead joins the Los Angeles Angels. And what did he do there? Yes, he did what Pujols was going to do, but the team in general, what did they do there? Absolutely nothing. So what is it with these big players wanting to play for the Angels? What is it that they have that makes these players want to go play for the LA Angels? I mean, they're not even the best team in town. We all know that's the LA Dodgers.
It's the money and the city. That's basically what it is. But they just don't care for winning. That's what it is.
It could be. But Brandon, I mean, do you think Ohtani's on the way out?
The way I see it, I'm going to put an NBA perspective. Okay. Giannis Antetokounmpo, drafted by the Bucks. All he knows is Milwaukee, being that of a Greek player and a Greek native. Dirk Nowitzki, all he knows is Dallas, the Dallas Mavericks organization, throughout his entire career in the NBA when he was playing. For Ohtani, all he knows is the Angels. All he knows is the city of Los Angeles. And all he knows is the West Coast when it comes down to living in America and playing professional baseball and Major League Baseball here in the U.S.
Which, by the way, before you continue, LA has a big Asian community.
Exactly that as well. Whether that be in San Francisco, Los Angeles, maybe even close to Sacramento.
Yep.
But the most interesting part about it is that the teams that are interested in most likely could potentially get him, being that the Dodgers, the Padres. I mean, we're looking at West Coast teams. I don't think Ohtani is going to make his way any bit close past Kansas City, if that makes sense. But when it comes down to if he will leave, I don't think so. I personally don't believe he'll leave. Again, as I mentioned before, from the NBA perspective of things, when you have an international player, especially an international player like Ohtani, who has just arrived here in the U.S. not too long ago, is he willing to leave Los Angeles? Is he willing to leave a franchise that brought him to give him this opportunity? That's something I'm not too positive. I don't think Ohtani is going to be a huge money guy. He's more of a personality and a figure type of guy when it comes down to baseball. So he represents the Angels on a big way. If there's going to be a huge contract, again, I'm not in his ear. I'm not like there in the room. But definitely, if anyone's going to move him, it'll be the Angels before Ohtani.
I think before Jonka, go ahead.
I think he's the opposite. I think he's that player that wants to win. He's from Japan. They're hard workers over there. They know what they they want to achieve the best they possibly can in their their occupations. I think he would want to go somewhere where he could win, but also he's a person. He has preferences. If he wants to go somewhere where it's nice and warm and weather, he can do that. He could go to LA. He could go somewhere, the Giants, maybe San Francisco Giants or something like that. But if he wants to change of scenery, he always can go to New York or Boston or wherever he wants to go to. But yeah, that's what I'm going to say about that. Like, I don't think he's just for. He is a really nice person and a good like publicity guy. Like he's really good on the camera. Let's be honest. But I don't think that's all he is. So that's what I'm going to say. I was just disagreeing with what you said there, but that's it.
But I mean, from that point though, would you say he'll go to a contender then? Because if that's the case, I mean, Boston's obviously out of it, no question about it.
I think it's the team that could best persuade him on his future. I guess like the Dodgers have a good team. They're always in the mix. The Yankees need that next guy. I think the Yankees could get rid of Giancarlo Stanton. They can get rid of some young guys they're having in the minor leagues they're big prospects. Maybe some picks or something, some money compensation. The Yankees always have money. Let's be honest. The Red Sox they got some good people too. The Giants are always somehow, some way they sneak their way into the playoffs, and it's like, where do you see Ohtani going towards? I think it's either the Dodgers, Yankees, or the Mets.
The Mets.
I think the Mets are in it, bro. Because think about this. What if you don't you think right now the Mets would hate to see the Yankees get Ohtani? Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
So it's like, damn, bro, we cannot let the Yankees get Ohtani, bro. We need to put at least some sort of offer on the table and see if he takes it.
Yeah, but I mean that also means like Pete Alonso might be on his way out if that was ever the case, though.
I'm saying,
yeah,
Pete Alonso to the Angels. I mean, slugger for slugger, and then maybe an extra throwing 2 pitchers in there for him. You get pitching and you get the slugging at the same time. You could make that deal.
Here's my question to you guys before I throw in my opinion where I think he might go. How much of a chance do the Marlins have of getting Ohtani?
The Marlins have as much a chance as everybody else. All it takes is to open that checkbook and you make them sign. Hey, you want to come here to the most highest grossing city in the entire USA? Come down to Miami. Better lifestyle, better weather than anything in the entire US. You live it down here, and you get better food too.
Yeah, I mean, from of course those options, but also I think one of the biggest parts of Miami is also the Ichiro part about it, right?
Yep.
I mean, we've had a Japanese legend here in South Florida before. They had great fanfare with Japanese fans for the Miami Marlins.
Our general manager.
Exactly. Of Japanese descent. So in reality, it would make a better cultural move, I think, for Ohtani. I mean, you're going to go to an organization that has had history with that of Japanese fans, who has a Japanese fan base probably in Japan that has built over with Ichiro that used to play here before the end of his career. So I think, of course, as John said, the lifestyle, South Beach. Let me scratch that because I don't even go to South Beach. Hollandale Beach, downtown Miami, Biscayne, whatever. I mean,
and then with Messi here, it's like, damn, bro, like all the stuff wants to be here. Tom Brady, Kim Kardashian, David Beckham, like, bro, like, bring it on, baby.
Jimmy Butler.
Bro, everybody wants to be Miami, bro.
Soon to be
no income tax. That's another one. No state income tax. You go you're gonna get taxed up the butt. All that money you think you get, going to taxes.
Yep. Yeah, I know. I mean, besides the cold weather in Minnesota, those taxes are another reason why people don't go there. But yeah, Florida definitely a hotbed for huge name athletes right now. So there is a lot of reasons for the Marlins to be in it. I think they have a really great chance. If you ask me, a top 10 chance of the entire MLB. I mean, do what you want with that information, but I think top 10 chance.
So here's my take.
Okay.
I do agree slightly with Brandon that I have a feeling within me that he might stay with the Angels. I have that feeling, that gut feeling within me. But if he does leave, I think there's only two teams that he goes to, either the Dodgers or the Yankees. I think it's either one of those two, to be honest with you.
And he's good friends with Aaron Judge, so that's another plus for me. But.
Yeah. And if he doesn't want to leave LA, Dodgers.
Yep, there you go.
Let's move on to our last topic of the night, and it is Saquon Barkley might sit out of training camp if he does not get a good deal with the New York Giants. Here's my answer. Pay the damn man. Pay him. That is your best player on the roster. Pay him. It's the same thing with, that situation was different with Odell Beckham Jr. and the Giants. He was just starting to complain about everything. But Saquon, come on, man. With what the Giants are building right now and with their new coach and with Daniel Jones, you got to keep Saquon Barkley as part of that core in that locker room. So just pay him. And it's not going to be good for any party, whether the Giants or Saquon Barkley. And by the way, training camp right around the corner. It's not going to be good for any party if he just starts missing training camp just because you can't, guys, reach an agreement. So my opinion is Giants, pay Saquon Barkley, give the man his money, bring him back to the team, and you see how you guys do this season, which I think, for me, I'm very excited to see. And this is weird as a Cowboys fan to say this, but the Giants, I think, I really liked what I saw from them last year. I think they're going to improve even more this year.
Yeah, I mean, you got to pay the man, and let alone the running backs in the NFL, Josh Jacobs with the Raiders having some issues, Barkley having some issues that we discussed before, Dalvin Cook looking to leave Minnesota. What is going on? Yeah, and Elliott as well. I mean, what is going on right now? You know what I mean? Just pay these guys. I mean, there's been plenty of times where I look to my TV and think, man, Giants and Barkley. I don't think of Giants and Daniel Jones. I don't think of Giants and whoever's on that defense. I don't think of Giants and Odell. I think of Giants and Saquon Barkley. That is the face of the franchise, in my honest opinion. At some point, New York's got to realize that. They got to pay the guy because, of course, you have to pay with that through that injury history. Him being a running back, you're going to have that more than any other position, of course, in the NFL. But he's talented. I mean, he can do a lot on the catch, running down the ball, see the field very well. Still one of the better blocking backs, I think, in his division. There's a lot of reasons to keep him and pay him at a high price, probably higher than what he wants. So definitely pay the man. And that goes for all the other running backs because, for the Raiders situation with Josh Jacobs, I take a real close eye to that one because if Josh gets frustrated, wants to leave, honestly, whoever takes him up, especially contender, that's potentially a Super Bowl waiting to happen for Josh. The guy has, title pedigree from Bama. The guy has multiple big-time seasons of 1,000 rushing yards, and even plus that. And same goes with Saquon. I mean, there's a lot of running backs that need to get paid, and it's kind of disrespectful.
Hey, John, before you go, I think it was actually reported today, Brandon, that they saw Jacobs on a flight heading out of Las Vegas, and training camp is literally right around the corner. So I don't know what's going on there. Yeah,
I'm telling you, man, it's getting scary right now, especially for the AFC.
Jonka?
I agree in the sense as for on the player side, yes, pay the player. But at the same time, I can understand why teams are hesitant of paying because as history, like recent history, Ezekiel Elliott, Christian McCaffrey, they've been paid excessively, way too much money that they were overpaid. They never finished out their contract, and yet it led to no Super Bowls or no AFC championships or anything like that. And so they're like, damn, in recent history, every time a running back has been overpaid or given a really big contract, it hasn't led to anything Super Bowl wise. So so that's why I think the market is really small right now, and why running backs aren't being paid what they should be. I agree, they should be paid way more, especially for Saquon Barkley. He's the best player on the team, but it's just like also I gotta also look at it as an owner side. Like, see, Saquon Barkley is a really good player, but he has been injury prone in recent. He's been out for a season. He's been out for half a season though. He's always injury. Something Nick here, Nick there. I mean, deserve that much money. Maybe a little bit less than what he's asking for, just because he is injury prone. But it's hard to say when you look at it from both sides. Like, you're just like, okay, yeah, owner side, I understand why they don't. Player side, yeah, pay me my money because, anyway, I'm running into these 300, 400-pound monsters on every other play, and you expect me to take care of myself, but yet I'm not being paid, compensated correctly, and yet on any play I could be out for the count and my career is over. So it's like, so it's hard to say. I know Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott, Josh Jacobs, Dalvin Cook. All these running backs are having trouble. Like, I know we just saw Joe Mixon re-sign with the Bengals.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even for that much.
Hey, I'm picking up. I don't know about you guys, but I'm picking up Mixon on fantasy.
Bro, I picked Mixon last year, and he got injured, bro, and that for like 3-4 weeks, and it screwed me over, man. But I think it was.
Quick. You know who gave me a lot of points and no one picked him? Pacheco from the Chiefs.
Oh yeah. He came in, bro. That guy was so quick. Oh my god. But that's fantasy football.
Yeah.
If you guys want us to make a fantasy and we'll keep up, then you let us know in the comments. You tweet at us. We'll make a fantasy. Maybe one of you guys or one of you fans will want to join us in the league. See if you guys can beat us. But
as we get closer to the season, we're gonna have some fantasy stuff on here.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what I gotta say about the running back situation. So if you guys wanna at me on Twitter, I'll talk some crap with you guys if you want.
But you know what I would say? Kind of a hot take, because I've been seeing some crazy contracts for wide receivers.
Yeah.
Some insane contracts for wide receivers. If you ask me, and again, a hot take, running backs should be getting paid more than wide receivers. In my honest opinion, in the sense of what backs do at their position. No, because you gotta understand though. Also, is like what they do at their position, blocking wise. They're always with the ball for at least 1/3, or not 2/3 of the team's entire possession during games on Sundays. They have the ball almost as much as the quarterback is under center sometimes, but for specific teams, of course. Wide receivers, you do your route. You don't do much of a blocking. I mean, if you do special teams, then yeah, maybe you might get a little bit better, in the sense of, we've got to pay you more because you're on the field more. But for wide receivers, and I get it, you need guys who can catch the ball. You need guys who can run those routes, shake off corners.
My opinion to that is it depends on what offense you're trying to run.
Yeah.
Me as a Dallas Cowboys fan, of course, because Dallas is a run-heavy offense. Like, Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott last season were the most lethal 1-2 punch in the league. So if you're a run-heavy offense or run-first offense, look, it's simple. As a defense, you're playing the Dallas Cowboys 99.5% of the time, the first play is going to be a run. So I think it just depends on the offense the team is trying to run.
No, of course I understand that. But, I mean, like, for example, for the Tennessee Titans situation with, of course, unfortunately I had to say, but D-Hop going to the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
And I don't remember it was 1 year, 2 year, whatnot, but they're looking at a ridiculous paycheck for this guy, getting north of $20 million for his tenure there in Tennessee. By the time it's up in a recent, probably sooner than later time, by then, guys will be out of the league in the running back room. I mean, we looked at Melvin Gordon. We looked at guys such as, I forgot, actually, funny enough, because he was a big-time back, a huge-time back. I forgot, used to run for the Rams. I don't even remember his name.
Todd Gurley.
Todd Gurley, exactly. Todd Gurley, huge name, huge asset for the Rams offense.
Contract, and yet he got traded to Atlanta and then became nothing, and then now he's out.
Exactly. So it's unfortunate because you have these talented running backs, and it's like this insane cycle. They ask for a bigger paycheck, which they are deserving of. off of their rookie contract. They don't get it, and they're shipped around until they're out of the league. And then for these wide receivers, you just had just 1 or 2 good seasons as a wide receiver, and you're going to be in the league at least for 8 years.
You know what, Brandon? I'm going to put this to a poll tonight when we're done with the show here. I'm going to put who should be paid more, running backs or wide receivers, because I'm really curious to know what people think and the answer.
Wide receivers.
So, we'll have the answer. We'll have the answer next week for you after the poll and see what people think. But anyways, that's going to conclude our show tonight, episode 102. Man, just this last topic, man, I don't know about you guys, I'm really itching to talk about NFL football and for the season to start.
I know.
I'm really itching for it. Like
NFL and college.
Yeah, I'm waiting for we can watch some football on TV. I'm waiting for it. It's one of my favorite times of the year. And for me, I don't know, but for you guys, but for me, high school football as well, I enjoy it. So that's going to end our show tonight, episode 102. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, we appreciate all your support. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week and tune in next week for a brand new episode. Good night.